Welcome to D2 Bites, a show where we serve up quick conversations about marketing over snacks. I'm Laura Lenchitsky. Joining me today is Patrick Sedano.
Hey.
We're talking about using technology and custom experiences to solve problems. Stick around. What does a custom experience mean to you?
Oh, customer experience, it can mean anything. But really the thing that we've heard and I've heard over and over again is how could I get my customer to engage with and experience a product when we can't even get it to the trade show floor? What do you do then?
I mean, I've set up trade show booths before, and I would not want to move a very large surgical table, for example.
So thank you for that setup with the surgical table, because that's a perfect example. So we have a client who makes for surgeons, specifically spinal surgeons, a product to position the head and therefore position the spine the way they need it for the surgeries. The product weighs over 200 pounds. It needs to be connected to a very expensive and very large surgical table, and they just don't have it to bring everywhere with them. So what do you do in that situation? Well, we came up with what we feel and what they felt were some really cool solutions for that. Primarily, the idea of utilizing spatial AI to recreate that device on a tablet. So not only is it available at the trade show floor, but it's also available for their sales rep to bring anywhere in this country, anywhere around the globe to demonstrate the product. And what's really cool about the spatial AI technology is that it creates a 3D image in front of them that they can then manipulate. And what it does is it tracks the viewer's eyes, and it'll reposition the model inside the tablet. So to them, viewing it on the tablet, it looks like it's in 3D. So if you were to hold it in front of you and look at it, the images look like they're actually extending out of the tablet into your environment. So then using just swipe, you could orbit around, you could zoom in, you could manipulate the device itself like you would in real life. And then you could see the patient on the table and how you would access the various parts of their anatomy.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yes.
You mentioned sales. There's a lot of applications for this, I think, beyond a trade show floor. Like a sales rep that would be able to carry it's much easier to pack a tablet than a 200-pound device.
They can't do it. And in some countries, they just don't have product available to ship for sales opportunities. So we have to come up with other ways to get those products and to get really that what is the value that this product will bring to me? Well, then we could do those specific things.
Back in the day, I think a lot of like those types of experiences were with the headset.
Yeah, I mean the VR experiences, they're cool. We've done them, and we've done them, believe it or not, we've done them in group settings with synchronized headsets. But also keep in mind that, it's a different experience. It kind of takes you out of your world, puts you in a different world. And sometimes you don't want that. Sometimes you just want, the product in the environment that you're going to actually be using it in.
What other examples do you have of things that have been popular at trade shows?
Lately, we've been doing a lot of hologram stuff. Yes, very cool. I mean, there's a lot of devices that do holograms now, but the way we utilize it is in a booth, and the booths could be like a little tabletop display, or it could be a big 86-inch, bigger than a telephone booth kind of thing. And there are many things that we could do with that to create a very cool experience. We could do live action in the booth, so we could have a Laura in our booth, which we would love to have a Laura in the booth. Who wouldn't?
Don't threaten me. That'll be the next episode.
But what makes that a cool experience, if we do live action, you can do live audience feedback, right? So in our holographic booth, we've got Laura, and Laura could be anywhere in the world beaming into that particular event.
So we could demo a product. You could bring in a KOL, you could bring in an endorser, celebrity endorser
Exactly.
even.
You could create a character if you have a character.
Yep.
Perfect application. We've done mechanisms of action, 3D animated cells and pharmaceuticals. really anything. We could do things that are controlled by touchscreen, almost like a kiosk. You could walk up to something and engage with the item that's in the hologram, either by swiping on the booth itself, or I think it was just last summer, we did one that a viewer could walk up to the booth and actually through gesture, not touching it, but through gesture that there was some instruction on the booth, make things happen inside the booth.
Oh, neat.
So very cool things.
So are you always making something new, or is there opportunity to repurpose? Because sometimes a lot of companies just have a ton of content.
Yeah. We're not always making something new. And I think the benefit to having a lot of content, whether that content is web pages, PDFs, video, we could utilize what you have, organize it in a way that we could create either a self-directed kiosk or a sales enablement tool for your sales force, or really anything. It doesn't have to be new. We could take what you have and give it new life, which is, we've done that quite a bit as well.
What do you do to make sure that this is an impactful experience, that it's not just like a gimmick, it's something to do just to do it?
Yeah, well, kind of like with everything that we do, we really got to get to the heart of what the value proposition is. Why is this important to our audience? And the more that we know about that, the more that we know about how your product is unique and different, the better experience that we're going to create. Not necessarily the wow factor, but the takeaway factor. The idea that we could put an experience out there that they not only kind of see your product and understand your product, but really get to the heart of how that product is going to make a difference to them in what they're doing. Whether it's the head positioning system or any other kind of technology, it's really getting to understand the product, what makes it unique, and what makes it important to the audience who's seeing this.
Yeah. We make a lot of enterprise software and applications here too, and the parallels, there's a lot of how are we going to communicate this information to people in a way where they're going to retain it, in a way that's very user-friendly, and in a way that they can act on the information. So it's like technology is the medium that gets you there.
Right.
And how do you think that engagement, or how somebody feels about it when they're engaging with it, how do you think that varies versus just reading about it or watching a video?
I think the first thing is going to be, wow, this is probably the coolest thing I've seen in a very long time. But once they get past the wow, it's more the, well, yeah, it does what you said it'll do. And because I'm seeing it in front of me doing what you're telling me it can do. So I think that really strikes a different kind of chord, because I could tell you something and I could show you something, but when you experience it for yourself, when you're in there and doing it, that's when all of these things connect. And that's why this particular instance of this event tool that turned into a sales tool is very successful for this client.
That's it for today's Bite-Sized Chat. Catch you next time on D2 Bites.
Peace. That was stupid. We can do
All right, technology. What kind of technology do you have at home? Are you a video game guy?
No.
Not even close.
Not at all.
Well, you have a lot of music stuff, right? Is there a lot of tech around that?
Yes, there's a lot of technology around my music stuff. A lot of MIDI synced guitar components.
A lot of what?